They didn't try to silence me because I was wrong. They tried to silence me because I was right. Because what I'm about to share isn't harmful. It is dangerous, not to you, but to the illusion. To the emotional structure of that women use to stay one step ahead. The moment a man hears this and truly absorbs it, something inside him hardens, not in bitterness, but in awareness. And that changes everything. You begin to notice the patterns you once overlooked. The pauses in her text that felt mysterious now feel strategic. Her silence that once made you chase no feels like a trap. You stop reacting tower moods like she's the weather. You've stopped needing her validation like it's oxygen. And without that power over you, she starts to panic. Not outwardly, but in ways you can sense. She starts suggesting subtly, but the fear is real. You become unpredictable. That's what terrifies her most. You're not jumping at her every cue anymore. You're nurturing to decode her mixed signals. You're no longer scrambling to keep her interested. You've stopped reacting to the push and pull of her emotional rhythm. And that unpredictability, when a man detaches emotionally from her control, that's what shatters the scriptures always counted on to keep you on a leash. You're not cruel. You've just become distant. It's not because you want to punish her, but because you've seen through the act. The game's no longer aims you. Emotional bait no longer hooks you. You're not the man who has said oh beg for clarity to prove your worth to win her back. That man died themament. You understood the hidden script women never wanted you to read. You'll live with clarity, with stillness. You're not cold, you're composed. You're not explaining every emotion, not defending every action, not sending late-night essays trying to be understood. You've learned the greatest act of malapower is silence. Not as manipulation, but as protection. You're not distampiques, you don't care. You're silent because you've learned not to waste your energy convincing someone who never truly listened. Out. And that silence speaks volumes. That silence isn't emptiness. It's power. It's grounded. It's full off presence. She feels it when you walk into a room. She sees it in your eyes that you're no longer available to be played. You're not accessible like before. Not emotionally porous. You've built a wall, not to keep love out. Buddha, keep your soul protected. She feels the weight of that boundary. No, she can't cross it anymore. And her rest part most men miss. You don't need to be flawless to be loved. You don't need six-pack abs, a smooth tongue, or an endless string of accomplishments. You've been told to perform, to perfect, to posture. But that was never their requirement. What she truly wants, what actually touches her is presence, not performance, not pressure, just grounded, unwavering masculine stillness still, not stillness that doesn't flinch under her gaze. Being present isn't about texting Herald Day or planning extravagant dates to impress her. It's not about constantly checking in or performing emotional backflips for approval. Presence is about standing still in your truth. It's about eye contact that doesn't waver, breath that doesn't rush. A man who is entering to sell himself, just being who is. That's the kind of presence that ensures her chaos and makes her drop her walls. You could be sitting beside her saying all the right things and still feel invisible. If your energy is needy, if your self-worth is dangling on her response, if your spirit is pleading for attention, she will feel that and it triples her. Because a woman wants Taurus and a man's strength, not carry his insecurity. If your center is scattered, if your core is soft, she can't trust it. She won't lean in. But when you're truly present, when your energy isn't chasing, but simply rooted, everything hinges. You don't have to speak much. Your silence speaks for you. You don't fave to chase her. Your stillness draws her in. She starts thinking about you, obsessing. Even, not because you impressed her, but because you were felt Becca's. You didn't need her to feel well. And that to a woman is magnetic. You stop trying to be impressive. You stop playing roles. You don't fear buying Meissendurst anymore because you'll understand yourself. You'll no longer waste your breath trying to convince anyone. You just show up as truth. And when you do, your energy alone sets the tone. Your calm presence becomes the frame. You're not here to earn her affection. You're here to honor your peace. Let's talk about your energy. It's the unspoken part of you that enters the room before your words do. That subtle charge that communicates everything without speaking. Your posture, your eyes, your breath, your vibe. These are your true introductions. If they scream, "Please like me," she hears it. And worse, she does it not to be cruel, but to feel your frame. To test if it's solid or if it bends under pressure. Women don't trust softness unless it's built on strength. If you're soft because you're afraid of conflict, if you shrink to keep her, if you bend just to avoid rocking the boat, she won't feel safe. She'll feel burdened. She respects you less and less until quietly she's gone. Maybe physically, maybe emotionally. Booch won't be present. And once respect fades, love can't stay. You teach people how to treat you with the energy you low if you keep accepting disrespect. If you fear being alone so much that you'll tolerate chaos, you're training her to believe she can cross any line without consequence. And when thoughtless becomes manipulation, she doesn't stay because she wants you. She stays because she knows you won't leave. That's not connection. That's captivity. But when you walk in purpose, when your standards are clear and your soul is intact, everything shifts. She stops testing and starts wondering if she's even worthy of you, your preconceived alignment. She rises or disappears. And either way, it serves you. Because the man with boundaries is the man with value. Not in what he has, but in what he honors. A man who guards his peace is a man no woman can play. Stop over-explaining. Stop begging to be understood. If she's repeatedly crossing lines you've clearly drawn, it's not a misunderstanding. It's a power play. You don't need long texts. You don't need more conversation. You need distance. You need silence. Because that's silence. It cuts deeper than words ever cowled. She feels it in the space where your energy used to live. In the absence of your presence, she sees her behavior clearly. You don't ghost to be petty. You vanish to protect your sanity. You don't throw tantrums. You exit with dignity. You stop watching her stories. You'd stop checking in. You don't block her. You'd simply let go. It's that lack of reaction. That's what rattles. Her, that's what forces her to reflect. Because when a man stops needing to bend, he becomes dangerous in the most sacred way. You weren't created to orbit their moods, to beg for affection, to be addicted to her attention. You were built for something bigger, a mission, a legacy, a life beyond just being liked. That's why men on purpose are so attractive, because they move with direction. And a man with direction can be dominated. That's the man she obsesses over, long after he's gone. You didn't shrink when she pulls away. You didn't pause your growth when she gets cold. You keep building. You stay focused. Your life is full with or without her. Your purpose fills the space her inconsistency used to occupy, and that fullness, that self-sufficiency draws her in more than any words ever cowled. She wants a man she has to reset meet, not one who crumbles under pressure. Your purpose becomes your filter. Through that, only the right ones make it through. And when the wrong on leaves, you don't chase. You evolve. You grind. You reconnect with the fire inside. You, not to prove her wrong, Buto, honor what's right for you. You no longer build for her gaze. You build for your name, for your future. That's where your power begins. The women who ignored, you now watch, but it's too late. You're seeking validation. Anymore, you've grown beyond the boy who needed her to see his worth. You've become the man who saw it for himself. And that shift, it's irreversible. It's not arrogance. It's embodiment. You don't beg for space and see me in else's world. You create your own. And in that world, only the worthy are invited. Real detachment isn't about not feeling. It's about not being enslaved by feeling. We can love and walk away. You can care and still say no. You can forgive and never return beckos. You've stopped chasing outcomes. You've started honoring alignment. That makes you powerful. It makes you rare. And that's what makes you unforgettable. You are not the backup plan. You are the blueprint. Let her call you distant. Others say you've changed because you have. You've stopped explaining. You've bestowed, leaking your heart into hands that never held it with care. You led no with purpose, with clarity, with silence. that speaks louder than any declaration of love. And when you doth that, you're no longer an option. You're at standard. You're at the shift. You're a wreathy man who finally chose himself.